Pacific Rim Uprising is directed by Stephen S. DeKnight and stars John Boyega, Scott Eastwood, Jing Tian, Kaylee Spaney, and Charlie Day. It's the obligatory sequel to Pacific Rim, which I'll confess to not having seen right now. I'm pretty sure I got the gist of it. Big robots punch big monsters really hard and trashing cities probably more than the monsters would if you just left them to it. And it was directed by Guillermo del Toro, which came as a pretty big surprise to me. It didn't really sound like his kind of film. Anyway, this film's set 10 years after some big battle that I presume happened at the end of the first film, where pieces returned to Earth because all the Pacific alien things, the kaiju, which I'm pretty sure that is actually the word for all the monsters of the Godzilla franchise, but I don't know if they're setting up another one of those bloody cinematic universes or something, because I know they have the rights to the Godzilla films, at least in America anyway. It gets really confusing. I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, all the kaiju are dead, except lol, not really. It's a sequel. Of course, they're not all gone just yet. But being serious though, the story wasn't all that bad. This time, John Boyega is Idris Elba's son from the first one, and Finn has now turned into Ray, scavenging parts of old Jaegers until he's eventually caught and forced to return to train new Jaeger pilots. And of course, he discovers conspiracy in the training facility and the company that makes the Jaegers, and it means it's time for big smashy robot fun time. I was kind of surprised that the plot was as layered as it was, really. It's not going to wow any aspiring writers or become the new gold standard for action films, but it did manage to pull the rug out from under me once or twice. It didn't go in an entirely predictable manner, and already that was more than I expected from a sequel with as many production issues as this one. The writing isn't always perfect, though. Occasionally, the humour can be a little cringy. As charismatic as John Boyega is, fucking love that guy, there was a pretty substantial plot contrivance about halfway through, and sometimes the characters can come across as pretty dickish, but I'd say I had a good time watching this film. Maybe that's only because I didn't see the first one, so I can't see how aggressively corporate this one is, or something I've heard some people saying. But I had fun. Sue me. Acting's pretty good. Even the kids, most of the time, were pretty decent actors. The story was a hell of a lot better than they probably could have gotten away with, and had some really good action scenes. Hey, I like seeing big robots grow swords out of their arms and slash big monsters. It's fun. The biggest complaint I have by far is that there just isn't really anything to say about the directing. It's likely another case of a studio taking a director who's more or less fresh out of his university film course, probably so he won't argue with them too much, giving him $100 million and just tell him go nuts. But of course he can't go nuts because he just doesn't have a clue what he's doing with $100 million, and so the film, it looks and feels very standard. The effects are great, but the set design and camera work looks pretty basic and repetitive for most of the film. Also mention how the characters can feel like total ponces at times, and that clearly wasn't the intention, but they'll be going into spoilers, so we'll leave it there. Pacific Rim Uprising, it was good. I had fun. Well acted, decently written, great action scenes, all that amazing. It feels a bit standard, but I'd still say it's better than Peter Rabbit, because there's more to be impressed at here, I think. I want to give Pacific Rim Uprising a 6 out of 10. So guys, have you seen Pacific Rim Uprising? What did you think of it? Or should I watch the first one after seeing the second, or is it not worth it because I'd just be confused because I watched the second before the first, and the first one is before the second? I'm confusing you, aren't I? Whatever it is, let me know. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.